The Black Death killing only 50% of Europe might have been a worse fate than a 90% wipeout, condemning survivors to centuries of slow stagnation. In our timeline, the Black Death between 1347 and 1351 decimated 30 to 50% of Europe's population. This cataclysm weakened feudalism, boosted peasant wages, and challenged the church, eventually paving the way for the Renaissance and Reformation. But what if it was truly apocalyptic, wiping out 9 out of 10 people? This isn't just more death, it's a complete erasure of the medieval world, setting off a chain reaction that paradoxically might have launched Europe into modernity far earlier. By 1355, Europe would be a ghost continent. Cities lie largely silent, fields are overgrown. Crucially, the feudal system, which relied on a vast peasant class tied to the land, would vanish overnight. There would be no lords with serfs, no knights with tenants, because there would be virtually no one left to serve or be served. The sheer scarcity of human beings would elevate any surviving laborer to unimaginable power. Land, once the basis of wealth and status, would be worthless without hands to work it. Money, trade, and traditional governance would utterly collapse, replaced by desperate, localized survival. The church, too, would be decimated, its authority shattered by its inability to explain, or stop, such biblical devastation. This wasn't merely a reset, it was a blank slate. With the old order obliterated, survivors would find themselves in a world of unprecedented opportunity and terrifying freedom. Labor scarcity would drive a frantic search for automation. Basic technologies like watermills and early presses would be rapidly refined and scaled, not just to grind grain, but to do anything a human couldn't. By the 15th century, Europe might not be rebuilding feudal strongholds, but inventing rudimentary steam engines to clear land or power new, small-scale industries. Without the Church's dogma, scientific inquiry, driven by necessity and the new abundance of resources per capita, could flourish unfettered. The Renaissance, if it happened, would be one of pragmatism and invention, not classical revival. Fast forward to the 18th century. Instead of the nascent Industrial Revolution, this alternate Europe might be centuries ahead. Perhaps a fully automated agriculture would feed a still smaller but highly advanced population. Global exploration might prioritize resource extraction for machinery over traditional conquest. The absence of entrenched monarchies and rigid social structures could foster hyper-individualistic, technologically driven micro-societies. The very concept of nations might be different, built on shared scientific goals rather than historical borders. The world we know, defined by 19th-century colonialism and 20th-century wars, would be completely unrecognizable. So, while unimaginable suffering would precede it, the worst Black Death, by eliminating the slow-burning constraints of the medieval system, could have paradoxically paved a quicker, albeit brutally forced, path to a technologically advanced, resource-rich, and radically different European future. Sometimes, utter destruction is the shortest route to transformation. Subscribe before the next timeline begins.